We're
severe
going to show you those images
LA,
right now. Let's take you live
severe
to Los
fire
Angeles, where they
alert.
have declared a state of emergency after a wildfire exploded from 10 acres to more than 2,900
Climate
in
change
just
weather
a few
forecast
hours. You
UK
can see the
2025.
live pictures that we're showing you
Times down there.
from there
Date
right
today's the 8th of
now.
January.
On the other side
Wednesday
of
morning,
what
guys.
has been a very busy
2025.
freeway in Los Angeles. More than 30,000 people have been ordered to leave their homes on very short notice. No clue yet when they will be allowed back. Our LA correspondent
Fire is
Emma Lawrie
horrendous.
has
The smoke's poisonous, and the wildlife's getting killed off. And a lot of people happen to evaporate. 30,000 residents of Los Angeles. It's nearly equator. That's why it's quite dry there, because of the wind flaming the flame. Wind's flaming the flames.
Emergency services eventually
It's quite hot there,
some
like 30 Celsius
vehicles to clear the roads.
or more. At the same time, across the south of the states of America, Alabama, Oklahoma, where there's very freezing cold rain and heavy snow soon. America's on fire. America's in the freezer. There's a lot going on in America. It's on flames now in southwest America. LA, Los Angeles.
Now, people in California are used to wildfires and strong winds at this time of year, but this one is more unusual.
It's horrendous.
How quickly it spread. In fact, it's so close to a densely populated area.
The ones that turned very ugly in the south
were in danger of being engulfed by flames.
near the Gulf of Mexico. It's 2 to 3 days.
It's not yet clear how widespread the damage is to properties, but some homes have been destroyed and several other fires have also been burning. While the strong winds continue, there's warnings across California that more wildfires may start.
It's not safe.
BBC News, Los Angeles.
Dry timber.
So while fires are ravaging parts of the United States, here in the UK, a series of yellow weather warnings covering the next few days have already become active, with ice forecast in communities
That's
still
dangerous.
recovering from severe flooding.
Freeze.
Major
The
incidents
rainwater's
have
going
been declared in
to freeze.
Leicestershire and
Look at that.
Lincolnshire. Philip Norton.
I've been in cold water a few days ago.
Morning to you, Philip. What can you tell us about
And it's not good.
where you are?
Especially Wellington boots with 2 socks, pairs of socks. It doesn't keep. Not good insulation.
As you can see here,
it's not nice.
See some of the sandbags
it's horrible.
put out by members of the community here.
Sandbags ain't good to the job, mate. They're rubbish. Sandbags are. Sandbags are rubbish.
On Monday, there's a huge river that runs along the back of here, and they were really worried about last night's high tide. But thankfully, as far as we're aware, there was no further overtopping of this drain. So a bit of a sigh of relief, but for many, sadly, the damage had already done, because this river, it's called the South 40-foot drain. It's effectively a huge drain which drains hundreds of square miles of the Lincolnshire countryside. And at the end of that drain, where the water flows into the sea, there's effectively a gate which stops the high tide coming up into the river. But of course, because the high tide was so high on Monday, that gate was shut. The river effectively backed up, and around about 11:30 midnight Monday night, there was no warning. Residents were actually waking each other up, knocking on people's doors, trying to get each other up, trying to get them out of their homes. But sadly, that damage had already been done. Around a foot of water had come through their homes, rushing through their properties.
Oh God,
and
grim.
You can imagine the state of shock there has been here.
That's horrible.
Indeed, Philip, thank you very much indeed. Rescuers are still searching for survivors after a major earthquake in the Chinese region of Tibet killed at least 126 people. More than 3,000 buildings were damaged. In the
what a new year this has turned out to be, guys. Not a happy new year, is it, for everyone? Not really. Not the only one suffering at the moment.
Survivors facing temperatures as low as minus 16 degrees Celsius overnight.
I thought the temperature here was going to be madly cold.
The Prime Minister has urged MPs not to back a parliamentary attempt today to push for a new national inquiry into grooming gangs. The Conservatives
Elon Musk didn't help.
To the Children's
I don't like Elon
Wellbeing
Musk.
and Schools Bill, which will be debated later on. Let's get more on this now from our chief political correspondent, Henry Zeffman. Morning, Henry. So can you just explain to us how this might work? Oh, maybe, first of all, will this work?
Morning, Sally. No, it won't. There is basically zero chance of this amendment passing, and thereby a new national inquiry specifically into grooming gangs being set up. That's just mathematical reality. This still relatively new government has a stonking majority.
Please subscribe to the channel on Sign and Gems.
And that is going to mean, for years to come, that they win votes as a matter of course. The era of knife-edge votes has pretty much passed. But that's not to say that there's political controversy isn't here on this issue, and we've seen that in the last few days, haven't we? I wouldn't be at all surprised if in the run-up to this vote today at Prime Minister's Questions, Kemi Badenoch uses the first Prime Minister's Questions of 2025 to go for Keir Starmer on this issue. And I wouldn't be at all surprised if she does, the Prime Minister hits back by saying, well, hang on, why didn't the Conservatives set up such an inquiry when they were in government, and why didn't they implement the recommendations of the last inquiry into child sexual abuse? Going forward, the Conservatives have already said that assuming they lose this vote today, they will table further such votes in the future. Keir Starmer's view is that by implementing previous recommendations, he can allay people's concerns on this issue. I guess we will find out in time whether he's right or wrong.
This is my friend Sparky
Well,
Jubbe.
Henry, thank
Every
you.
Friday, 3 to 5 pm, ITF Friday, sorry, every Friday. It's my friend Shane, live with the U's, which you name it. Cindy Lou at 10 to 12, every Friday, live with Cindy Lou. Every Friday, 10 to 12 on Soul Wheels radio station Friday. It's my friend John on Last Show. Every Sunday at 9 to 12, and live on the Woken Place, the show, Last Show every Sunday. 9 to 12 pm. Squash on Sign Germans. A lot going on around the world globally. Yeah, around the world globally. And then one of the best men in the universe, I do predict extreme weather conditions. We might get snow. Of course, southeast some rains today. We will see. I'll do a forecast later on about that. We will see if we get a little bit of snow. Probably won't be much. I'll talk about good only is around the Chilterns and the Downs, and not across the North Downs and across Guildford and Waking Town. But it's a 50% chance. It's 50-50. Could be further north. Could be further south. We'll see. So it starts midday onwards. Well, it starts this morning at 9 onwards until midnight tonight. These Squash on Sign Germans. Last bit of snowy winter and cold weather until February maybe. Across south east regions across the UK widely. These Squash on Sign Germans.